Guys, we currently have on the pad over 50 cars that we bought, built, broken, destroyed on the channel over the last few years. And the thing is, we have cars that you have seen, cars you haven't seen in years, and we have cars that you're waiting to see. And we are going to show them all to you. Welcome to our 2025 car collection tour. So guys, here's the thing. We're doing our 2025 car collection tour, but there is 51 cars just sitting right here.
What's crazy is we have this many cars, but there's points in time where I have nothing reliable I can drive because you've taken off with my car and I have nothing to drive.
No, that's not true. You can drive everything here.
What about the Bentley?
Not that one, it doesn't have a key.
What about the Jumpy Ranger?
Clutch doesn't work.
What about that Durango over there?
Doesn't have a motor.
What about the Beetle?
Front tire blew up. Someone ran over the ECM. Fuel pump went bad. No alternator. Doesn't have a turbo on it. We don't have registration. Motor's on it. So guys, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Garrett has a really, really bad problem with buying cars that we just don't need.
I have lots of problems and buying lots of cars.
No, Garrett, it's okay.
Weston,
okay.
You bought the cars.
No, it's a Garrett.
I bought some of them.
Guys, this right here is my 2017 Ford Mustang with a 12-valve Cummins turbo diesel in it. Since the last time you've seen it, she's got a couple small upgrades, like the fact that Fitment Industries hooked it up with some new tires and wheels, which has been needing because tires and wheels that's been on it have been on it for a long, long time. We've done some burnouts with them, and then we ended up cracking one of them, and it just constantly leaks. So now we've got a set of brand new Weld Racing Performance bead locks on it, and it's got a 6.1 liter stroker from Power Driven Diesel. It's got compounds on it. This thing rips. It made 2,200 foot-pounds of torque to the tires on Power Driven Diesel's dyno about 2 months ago, and it just gets down. By the way, this car came out of a scrapyard. This was a salvage titled S550 Mustang with a 4-cylinder in it. We got it really, really cheap.
The Smokestang started off as a parts car, and then when we bought it, at the time, we just come and swap that truck right there. As a joke, in all the comment sections, everyone's like, dude, you should come and swap that, JK, joking. And then I walked in the room like, Weston, how hard would it actually be to come and swap that new Mustang we just got? He grabbed the tape measure and we walked right outside and we shot another video of measuring to see if it would fit, and Weston's like,
that's insane, but that's not unreasonable. Like, we could do that.
And the rest is history.
So basically, it started off as a joke, and then Garrett's like, can we come and swap it? I'm like, sure, why couldn't we? The back differential in this is still a stock Mustang differential out of a 4-cylinder. It's done burnouts. I pulled a boat with it. I pulled a cement truck. I pulled a school bus.
This is our favorite build ever?
Oh, dude, 100%. Without a doubt, my favorite build we've ever done.
That's the Redneck Mona Lisa. Can I pick we have a lot of cars around here. Can I pick the next one?
You pick the next one. We did the Smokestang first. I'm happy.
I think that we should look at the Azetta.
So guys, this here is a 1959 BMW Azetta that we bought in, where did we buy this?
We bought this in Florida.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then we ended up driving it to Daytona Beach, and we got it on the beach, and the motor in it ended up blowing up. So we hauled it all the way home. And then we decided to take it to Sturgis, and we built it in 24 hours, and we took a Yamaha R6, chopped out the back half, and we turned it into a tricycle and put a 75 horsepower Yamaha R6 on the back. So this thing is way more fast and sketchy and dangerous than it ever should be, but god dang is it fun to drive. It needs cooling system upgraded because we never fixed that. The shifter just got fixed. We got to fix the clutch. We got to do a fuel cell. There's a couple things this thing needs. You know what's bad is once this thing actually works, I feel like this will be like the funnest thing we have to drive.
Oh, 100%.
Guys, in case you didn't know, it took us like 2 days to get all these cars up here to film this video. So if you guys are enjoying the video, and if you guys are enjoying the videos that we made in the last month or two, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5 million subs this year, and you guys are absolutely crushing it. We're at 4.46 million as of this morning, so we're almost there. So if you guys like the videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into the video. Guys, moving on. See this? This right here is where the crazy idea started. This is a 2010 F350 that we bought years ago, and I ended up Cummins swapping it. It was the first ever thing I'd ever Cummins swapped. And to be honest, we Cummins swapped it and it just works. We've been using it for years. It leaks a little bit of oil. It just has some standard old things that goes wrong with it, but the AC works, all the gauges work, it runs great down the highway.
And also the other thing about this build here is that now we realize, but we had none of the nice tools to build this thing. We had a hot shop, we had no lifts, I had to basically do everything on the ground.
So guys, I might end up selling this thing, I don't know yet, but if you're interested in buying a F350 1-ton dually with a 12-valve in it, hit me up. Guys, this right here, this is my tank. Well, it's actually, this is my Ford Ranger tank. And I found this on Facebook Marketplace after scrolling too far. What it is it's a M4 high-speed tractor. It was used to pull howitzers around Germany in World War II. And then after that, they chopped the top of it off and they turned it into a monster truck. And this thing actually has some history. This thing was actually in Monster Jam with the original Bigfoot. There's like videos out on VHS and stuff of them running around doing tug of wars and all kinds of stuff with it. And back then it had a big block Ford with a blower on it, made 900 horsepower. Now it's got a 12 valve Cummins that used to be in the smokestack that we put in there with the compounds on it. Makes like 800 horsepower and it runs really, really well.
I think this one here is like the best testament to how great a Cummins is because it moves this thing effortlessly.
I pulled up 2 stock Chevrolet big blocks trying to move.
And how long between, what was the average run time of them Chevrolets?
About 15 minutes. Thing is, every time we take this thing out and go decide to use it, it's not like we're just driving it down the street. We're driving it through the sand dunes, we're taking it through ponds, we're using it to pull other cars out. Like, it gets used hard and it still just runs perfect. Actually, we just used it at the Horsepower Rodeo. We ran over a bunch of cars in front of the crowd. And then this thing is also going to Salt Lake City in October for the next Horsepower Rodeo to run over even more cars at that rodeo. Moving on to the next one. This right here is a little biscuit. This here is a jet boat that we built a few years back, and I never got around to actually finishing it all the way, and I always wanted to wrap it, but I didn't know how I wanted to wrap it. So Garrett and the guys stole it for my birthday, and they ended up wrapping it like Texas Roadhouse, which honestly is the best wrap ever because this is my favorite restaurant of all time. Why'd you name it a Little Biscuit?
I don't know, just thought it'd be funny.
This thing here has a, hold on, let's see if the hood opens. Oh, pops right open. It has a supercharged Kawasaki motor and it makes 340 horsepower or something like that. And we've had this boat out in the last couple days. It's been sitting for like basically a year or two, but it runs great, it drives great, it doesn't really have any issues. The only problem it does have is it's got 16 gallons of fuel in it and it burns through 16 gallons of fuel like that. And whenever we got this was just a bunch of completely flat pieces of aluminum that showed up on a pallet, and then we welded it together, built it, put a motor out of a jet ski in it. This thing was completely built by us. Every single part of it was built by us. Right there, grab that fitting right there. Damn, dude. You guys are moving on away from the boat. This right here is our twin turbo 426 Hemi cop car. We've had this car for a long time. Originally, this thing had a 6.4 liter billet Hemi in it, and then we pulled it out and put it in this car for roadkill nights, which I don't think anybody actually knows. And then this car was left for years in the grass with no engine into it until we got a Blueprint 426 Gen 3 compatible Hemi, bullseye turbos on it. And originally we were gonna make it all-wheel drive, but now it's just so fun the way it is. It's got a turbo 400 in it. It made 840 horsepower on 9 pounds of boost.
That's cool and all, but look how nice these welds are.
This whole car turned out really nice, and it just works.
Do you remember how much we paid for it, where we got it? Do you remember the story of where this thing came from?
That was a Kansas Highway Patrol car. It was a state trooper car, and we paid like 7 grand for it, I think. Anyway, long story short, that car we're gonna take and turn it into a drag car. It makes a lot of power, it's really cool. And then coming back to this car right here, this is the last car that we want to run at Roadkill Nights. This is a 2016 Dodge Challenger. It got a trophy because we won the grudge match, but this was going to be the off-road Hellcat to begin with, but then we turned it into a race car, so we couldn't turn it into an off-road Hellcat. We gave like 30 grand for this car all the way back then, which is a fantastic deal for this car. It's got a red-eye blower on it, it's got a nitro shot to it, and it makes like 1,300 to the wheel, which is pretty good. It makes some pretty good power. And it's a 6-speed manual. So at the end of the day, it's not just put your foot down and hang on. You gotta be in there shifting the gears or this car's not gonna go anywhere. What I'd like to do is I'd like to take this car, that car, the Helljet, and the Demon all to the drag strip and see which one out of all these Hellcats is the fastest.
This thing make a lot of horsepower, Weston?
It did, one time.
Is there no engine in there?
No, there's an engine. There's definitely an engine in there, just the battery's dead. Okay.
Look at that diff.
This bad boy right here had an LS motor in it, and then it ended up, we caught it on fire at LS Fest, and we pulled the motor out of it just to make sure the motor was good, and we sent it off to Texas Speed to have them refresh it. And we just got that done. The motor just got back for this car. So we got to put this back together at some point. And we got the turbo kit redesigned, but we got new turbos for it from Hellion Turbo. So this bad boy is gonna rip one day, just not today. Now it's time to move away from the Typhoon. This is Garrett's favorite. And besides the smokestack, this right here is my favorite car. This is a absolute dream come true car. This right here is our 1968 Dodge Charger that we named Tater. Well, because namely it looks like a really bad potato. But now it's got a Hellcat motor with an 871 blower on methanol And we actually have never even started it with this combination, because the last time we did start it, it blew the intake off because we didn't have the intake on right. So we've put it all back together and we have not even started it yet. It's just been sitting in the shop. So we just rolled it out of the shop. We need to get this thing going because we're gonna take it to the next rodeo and do burnouts with it. But she is put together and should, fingers crossed, should run perfectly.
So when we bought this thing, it had been abandoned for 30 years in a trailer park. It was belonging to the original owner.
The guy that we bought it from, he runs a construction company.
That's right.
And he wanted like 20 grand for it, and then his excavator blew up and he needed $12,000 to fix his excavator. So he wanted to know if we'd come give him 12 grand, and we come give him 12 grand. That's how we got Tater. Tater looks pretty good, but is absolutely one of the most rusty cars that we have here. I don't know how it doesn't twist itself apart every time we try to do a burnout with it, because it does not have much structure left that's not rusted out, but got a goddamn blower on it. So that pretty much makes up for all of its faults. The first time we actually took and put this car together, we flipped over a motorhome, pulled the motor out of the motorhome, put it in there, put a blower on it, and ran like that big block Mopar for a long time. But we put it on the dyno and it made a whopping 215 horsepower, making 6 pounds of boost on a Mopar motor. It should make somewhere around 800 horsepower right now. So moving on from Tater, you're gonna see Tater coming back pretty soon, but now to the crown jewel of the entire fleet. Clifford. Ain't she just a beaut? I love this truck. Nobody else likes this truck. Do you like this truck? This truck. Guys, this is a 2012 Ram 3500. And this right here, I don't know, but I have a really bad attachment to this truck because this truck just constantly breaks down, but I love it and I just won't let it die. In 2017 or 18, I bought this bad girl from an auction for like 10 or 12 grand. Had bad injectors, it was kind of junk then, but I've driven this thing all over the world. Realistically, it was running really, really good right up to the point about 2 months ago, the front drive shaft came flying out of the front diff and it ripped some of the wiring out of the transmission, so now it only has reverse, the air conditioner don't work, and the rear end's whining again. Only reason we're doing YouTube right now today is because of this truck. Because we talked about doing YouTube while driving to Texas one time in this truck.
100%. I would have never thought of it without this truck.
Well, that's right. So anyway, guys, Clifford, she's a little bit down for the count at the moment, but we'll fix her. We'll get her back running, rock and rolling. Now we're moving on to the jumpy Ford Ranger. And the thing is, if you're wondering why I bought this jumpy Ford Ranger, you and me both. I don't really know why I bought it, but I can tell you this is actually a really, really cool truck. Does it run? No. Does it drive? Not really. So where's the cool part at? Looks cool. If you stood on the other side of the parking lot and you squinted, this thing looks.
I mean, like, I'll admit, like, it's, you know, does it have good bones? Like, it could look really, really nice, but are the bones worth making it nice?
This is a, like, 1997 Ford Ranger, and it's got a SVO Taurus motor in it that was made by Yamaha. And actually, the motor does run. It does work. It's just the fuel pump's kind of, like, just jerry-rigged together, and the intake's over here. It's not hooked up right. If you're wondering exactly how you start this rig, she's got remote start. Flip that switch, and flip that switch, and then hit that button, and it should start.
Also, in case you're wondering, this bad boy is in fact for sale. You could own it.
No, it's not. We're not selling this.
You just said it's terrible, it's bad, it's awful, but I want to keep. Why?
We're finally getting to the point where we have a course to use it. We're not gonna. I'll fix it. We're moving on down to probably one of the best off-road vehicles we got, the Corvette. If you wonder what this Corvette's been through, she's been through a lot. Rock crawling, rivers, sand dunes, been on a frozen lake on saw blades. I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace after everyone posted on Instagram. I ended up messaging the guy, and it's actually really, really cool, but there's not much done to it. It's got some coilovers on it, some big tires from Nitto. It's got a completely stock 5.7 liter LS1 in it, a 6-speed manual. And if you're wondering, is it a convertible? It sure is. It's a permanent convertible now because I lost the roof somewhere on the way back from Minnesota. So if somebody has found a black Corvette roof along the interstate south of Minneapolis, you've got my roof and I'd like it back. Okay guys, now here's the thing, right? There's been some vehicles that I've forgotten about and I've left kind of unattended for a long time that I really want to do something with. And one of those is this bad boy right here. This right here is a 1988 Fox Body Mustang GT. She's got a 5-liter in it. She's got a 5-speed manual. And originally why I bought this car is because I wanted a drift car. And I wanted to build this into just like a nice little easy car to drift. It doesn't make a whole lot of horsepower. It's just a stock 5-liter V8. But you really don't need that much if you're drifting. If you have 300 horsepower, that's basically enough. So one day, I've kind of told everybody that we're not going to pull it back off the pad, that we're going to pull it inside, weld the diff, and start throwing the parts on it because I want to turn this thing into a drift car. I don't care what anyone says. Some people either love the Fox Bodies or hate them, but I think it's a great looking car. All right guys, moving on from one red Mustang to the next red Mustang, we've got our GT500 here. Now if you guys watched, I bought this thing sight unseen on the auction and it was completely burned up. The whole engine had burned up at some point. We fixed it, we got it running and driving, and it runs and drives really well. Like the car only has 70,000 miles on it, and the fire wasn't even bad enough to really damage the engine. We just had to put a new wiring harness on it, new fuse box, ECM, cooling system.
You know, one thing that's actually funny, when we bought this car, the big reason we wanted to buy this was, one, that was on fire, but two, we thought this year was the last year that Shelby was alive, and it had the signature of Carroll Shelby on the dash. Then we get it, and that's a sticker.
This is a sticker somebody put on there to look cool. But long story short, I don't know what we're gonna do with the GT500 yet. It's a really, really cool car.
I mean, you wanted a red Fox body drift car, and this one here is got
GT500. You can't turn GT500.
I mean, unless you're a bad drifter and you hit stuff, there's no problem.
All right, guys, we got through the GT500. Moving on, this is probably my favorite truck that we have. And this here is a 2020 F-150 that we took and converted over. It's got the new body style front end on it off of a Raptor R. It's got a 5-liter Coyote with a Hellion twin turbo kit, and we made a little over 800 horsepower to the tire at 16 pounds of boost, and would probably make more horsepower, but we've got it turned down to like 8 pounds right now so we don't hurt it. Take in mind, it's a 130,000 mile work truck. So completely rebuilt it, but the motor's got 130,000 miles, and this thing does great burnouts, got full-wheel drive still. It rips, it full-wheel drive launches really, really well. Top tier.
He did also call out Cletus on wanting to race his mini TRX.
He said yes, so we got to take this thing to Florida at some point and race him. I don't think I'm going to win, considering his truck makes like 950 horsepower to the tire, but we'll go down there and give it a shot. Then we got the Bentley. This here was, we were negotiating a deal on a bunch of trucks that we bought, or excuse me, on a bunch of Hellcats that we bought out of an impound auction. And the guy that had this didn't really even like it. So we ended up making him a deal and took it. It's a Bentley Continental GT. This is actually probably a high dollar car, but we can't get a key to it and we can't get it started. So I don't even know what we're doing with it at this point. It's just kind of sitting around. Oh, let me put the window up. I think the window's broken, Garrett. Moving on to this bad boy. Now guys, I found this in a storage unit in New York, right? And this car is absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful, beautiful car. It's a Buick Regal lowrider hopper. It's got hydraulic pumps sitting in the back seat. It's got 4 hydraulic pumps, 17 batteries. This car surprisingly weighs almost 7,000 pounds. It's got a steel plate welded in the trunk that's this heavy. That way the car will tilt up like this. The whole frame's been reinforced, and it does hop. Like, this car will actually hop up off the ground. So there goes the hopper. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with that. Look at her. Look at her. Look at the little rally car. This right here is our Ford Focus RS rally car. This car is sweet. Somebody slightly crashed it just a little bit, and then we put a brand new ECM on it, got it running, put new tires and wheels on it, took it rally racing, and then the ECU fell out of where it was mounted and got ran over by the driver's side front tire, so it needs a new ECU, so it's currently broken. This car here is one of those where you can just swing it around a corner, grab the handbrake, dump the clutch, and you're sliding sideways, and you feel like you're the best driver on planet Earth.
Speaking of Ford, this is a Volkswagen.
So guys, this is what happens if you scroll way too far on Facebook Marketplace at about 3 a.m. in the morning and you roll across a Beetle with a 5-liter Coyote out of a Ford Mustang in it, and you're like, damn, that's a deal. I need to own that.
I know what's bad about these ideas is that you do it sober. No alcohol involved.
I bought this thing sight unseen on Facebook Marketplace out of South Carolina. The guy told me it ran and drove and everything worked, and to be honest, he was right. We put a new ECM in it after we got it back to Winfield, and it did run and drive after we fixed some wiring and some other things. There was a fuel line that literally had 75 holes in it. We fixed that, and it runs pretty good, but it is incredibly, and I mean incredibly janky.
Do you like this car?
I think legitimately it's one of the coolest cars sitting here.
I think it's a cool car, but one of the coolest may be a stretch, I'll be honest with you.
Sad as it might be, I think I'm gonna sell the Beetle because I really don't even know what to do with it at this point. So if any of you guys wanna buy a V8 Beetle, email this email right here. Honestly, we're just gonna leave it sit around for a few years and not do anything to it, and I would rather somebody actually go do something with this car. You have to put gas in it in the back seat, and if you try to do burnouts with it, the battery will come out and arc itself against the body and try to burn the car down.
Well, man, you are a great salesperson.
Now, if you guys wonder why Oscar has the name that it does, there's this kid that's a really, really big fan of the channel, and he's had some health problems, and his dad ended up sending me an Instagram DM, and he's like, hey, the next vehicle you get, would you mind naming it after my son, Oscar? And I just bought the forklift, so boom. The thing is, right, they might have expected something with 1,000 horsepower, but this gets used more than any single vehicle that we have.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was thinking.
What's great about this thing? I'll show you. See that? See how it starts and it runs and it works?
That is probably the best vehicle Westen
It
owns.
is the backbone of our fleet. It literally has lifted every single thing here.
I don't think anybody's seen the cop cars yet, have they? So I have this idea for a video and it involves lots of cop cars. I haven't quite got them all done yet, but hey, I've got cop cars and they're wrapped. I decided I want a cop car of every brand. So we got a Ford cop car, we got a Chevy cop car, and I had a Dodge cop car, but apparently it's went missing somehow.
It's really wild. I don't know what happened to it. I think we blew this one up. I'm not sure. So guys, starting off with the stuff that we got parked in the back, I want to introduce you to Dumpy. Now, she's not called Dumpy because she is Dumpy. Is she Dumpy? Yeah, she's Dumpy. But she's also a Dumpy.
But we bought this because we have like a lot of big projects. We got to move lots of dirt, gravel, all that stuff.
Well,
and also we got an incredible deal on it.
I bought this thing sight unseen from an auction, right? This truck actually works really, really well. So at some point it had been crashed and they put a different hood on the front of it, but it's got a great dump bed on it. It runs good. The AC works, which is the most important part. And for all the stuff we've been building lately, we've actually moved like 1,000 truckloads of dirt with it. She's not the most exciting rig that we have, but it is one of the most useful rigs we have. Anyway, long story short, that's the dump truck. So guys, this one right here, this next one, this is a Monte Carlo that we bought. And originally we were going to build a twin turbo Duramax Monte Carlo as like a drag car, and somebody else had already started on this project and then we bought it. I don't even want to say that we put it on the back burner. We lost complete motivation for it. We actually bought the truck for the LBZ Duramax. We've had motor mounts for it. Problem is we've got so many other big projects we're doing, we're just not going to get around time to do this. So if somebody wants a really, really awesome G-body.
Wait, hold on a second here. I don't want to sell it.
You don't sell it.
Well, it might come out of the pantry like it doesn't have an expiration date on it.
See, the thing is, you might be wondering why we hang on to things. It's not just because I am I'm not gonna say hoarder, collector.
We've had this
Garrett's a collector too.
Look, what happens if people at home are like, I love this, you gotta finish it, Weston. We have that whole competition about who gets the most likes or comments, and we're going to work on that project. So, people wanna see a Duramax swapped Monte Carlo. This is your opportunity, guys.
We made it through probably half the cars that are on the pad. Now we're getting to some cool ones, right? So this right here is a 12 valve Cummins swapped Ford Ranger. It's got a 12 valve in it, and it's got a 47 R8. And this thing was running really, really good right up until someone blew up the head gasket, which, hard to say who did it. But our overall goal with this, we put a built automatic trans in this thing. We're gonna take and fix the motor. I've got an O-ringed head inside to go on it, and then see how fast this thing goes. We wrapped it. It was originally black because it was pretty ugly black, so we wrapped it yellow. And overall, it's a super cool truck. I actually really, really like this truck. All right, moving on from that, we're moving down to this right here. Now this is probably one of my best looking cars, and it needs a bath really right now, but this right here is the Helljet. And originally I got this car in 2021. Dodge sent me a red-eye wide body Hellcat to take and participate in 2021 Roadkill Nights, right? So we built this thing into a race car, and then after that, the car that was originally this car needed to go back to Dodge because it did not have a VIN number. So we took it all completely apart and rebuilt it onto this 2015 Dodge Charger chassis that is also twin turboed and supercharged and makes like 1,100 horsepower. It's got an automatic in it. It's tuned for drag racing. You put drag sticks on the back, this thing absolutely flies. Now moving from one high performance vehicle down to the next high performance vehicle, this right here is something you guys ain't never seen before. You might be wondering what I'm gonna do to it. Well, I'm gonna drive it. That's what I'm gonna do. This is actually kind of a rare excursion. And for those of you guys that know, they stopped building the 7.3 liter Power Stroke in 2003. And this is a Super Duty with an 8-lug SUV with a 7.3 liter Power Stroke in it. And to be honest, I don't get a chance to drive it that much or use it. So I think eventually I'm gonna sell it. So if one of you guys out there wants a 2003 Excursion with a 7.3 Power Stroke in it, hit me up. All right guys, moving on to the next one, right? This right here, if you might recognize it, is our black Mustang with a big block Chevrolet in it, right? We've blown this up multiple times, and I mean multiple. We've blown it up on 3 separate occasions. We put a big block with a blower on it, put it in there, that blew up. We pulled that out, we put a 540 built by Steve Schmidt from Indianapolis. That ran for a little bit, and then that blew up. And then we pulled that 540 out and we shipped it back to Steve Schmidt in Indianapolis. The delivery driver calls me and says, hey, there is no engine shop to deliver this to. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, the engine shop has burned down. So to be honest, I'm just gonna say that motor is cursed. We're gonna get rid of the big box altogether. We're gonna put an LS in this thing, I think, eventually. But originally we built this thing for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to do burnouts. It's done some pretty cool burnouts. It's never really ran as well as we wanted it to, but it's done some awesome burnouts a time or two. You might recognize what this car is, right? If you watched our video, we bought this car, these Durangos right back here, and another Durango. We ended up buying 7 Hellcats from a district attorney and an impound yard because they were a part of a chop shop bust and all that. And this is one of those cars. Now this is technically like a 2020 Hellcat wide body, and it's kind of taken apart, the motors in it, but it was spray painted black. It's originally orange. It's got peanut butter seats in it. They took and put like an entire panoramic sunroof out of a totally different style of car into this car, and I'd like to say they did a good job, but they didn't. So originally, when we were bringing this thing home, the trunk accidentally flung open. Right there is the mess of the wiring harness that's left of this car. So as you guys can probably guess, this car's never running again. What are you doing? Don't mess up my bumper. That bumper was like barely messed up. All right guys, moving away from one Hellcat that doesn't run, we're going to a Hellcat that does run. The old dad van. This car runs and drives and does burnouts. And I don't know what we're gonna do with it yet. I thought about like trying to fix it up or maybe using it for parts. I don't know. Oh, and you remember how we said somewhere in the video that there's gonna be blurry cars? That right there is blurry number 1. Yeah, in front of him. That's blurry number 1. We're not going to show what that is, but just know it's going to be one of the coolest cars you guys have ever seen once we finally get it finished.
It's a Prius.
It's a... Why would you ruin it? This right here is what you'd be terrified of if you was driving a Prius. This is a 2017 Dodge Hellcat that we put an entire four-wheel drive system under. It's got straight axles out of a Super Duty. It's got a transfer case. It's got a turbo 400. This is a 4x4 off-road Hellcat. It's lifted probably 20 inches. It's got 35-inch tires. It's got carbon shock coilovers on it. On top of all of that, it's got a transfer case of a 1995 Chevy pickup. Don't ask me why. It's the only one that works. It took us a long time to build this because we built the chassis for this thing completely from scratch. It's done now. It works really good. We ended up hurting the motor the last time we had it out because we sucked a little bit of water into the intake, but we took one of the Hellcat motors that we got with these cars. So now she's got a fresh Hellcat motor and she's running really good, and we're actually gonna take it out next week and go see what she's capable of. So we're moving from one off-road vehicle down to the next off-road vehicle. And actually, now that I think about it, this is basically the whole off-road lineup right here, because we've got the off-road Hellcat and then we've got the Humvee. Now this Humvee has a LSA motor out of a Cadillac CTS-V. It makes pretty good power, but it's a supercharged LS swapped Humvee. And this thing absolutely rips. Like, let me tell you, we put small tires on the back of this thing. It does incredible burnouts. If you've watched the channel for a while, like 3 years ago, I bought this in Yermo, California, and proceeded to drive this Humvee all the way back from California to Kansas. And I made it all the way back, ended up camping on top of a mountain, blowing out a few tires, drove it through Vegas, a bunch of other fun stuff. But the problem with this Humvee at all times, and everybody that's ever driven a Humvee will know this, had a 6.5 liter Detroit diesel in it, and it had maybe 150 horsepower. Now, we yank that out, put an LS in there, and it probably has 650, 700 horse. Now, going on from one that's got a lot of power and it's got a lot of potential, we're gonna go to one that looks like it should have a lot of power, but actually doesn't. This right here is a monster truck Ford Ranger, and this is one of those where I scrolled too far on Facebook Marketplace and ended up buying something I didn't need. Realistically, it looks like it has 1,000 horsepower. It realistically has about 150 horsepower. It's got a stock 460 big block Chevrolet in it on 49-inch Super Swampers. We've used this thing a lot, and it just continues to work all the time. We've taken it to the snowed in series, we've taken it through sand, we've taken it through mud, through ponds, and everything like that, and it just keeps going and keeps going. So there she is. 460 cubic inches of freedom. Guys, you might not believe this, right? But for some reason, it's taken us like 4 days to film this car tour video because I've been constantly dragged off to do different things. And also on top of that, we're filming other videos while doing it. That car? We haven't told about that one yet. We haven't made it that far. But we was over here. Let's go back over here. To be honest, I think the last thing I talked about was the Monster Ranger, which means we're down to the workhorse of the fleet here. The workhorse of the fleet. That's right. The cheap Bronco. Now this thing is a 1995 Ford Bronco, and the thing is about it, right, is I bought this thing extremely cheap on Facebook. I think I gave like 14 or 1500 bucks for it. And this is hands down, besides for the forklift, one of the most reliable rigs we have, and it will literally go anywhere.
I literally have nothing bad at all to say about this thing. This thing is freaking a beast.
And on the sand dunes, this thing gets down. In the mud, this thing gets down. On the rocks, this thing gets down. On the highway, this thing shakes.
It does everything a $70,000 Bronco brand new would do, but it's $1,500. And for that, you cannot say anything bad about it at all because it's cheap.
Listen to that! 300 angry horsepower under there.
And you know what else? The air conditioner works too.
It broke. We need to fix it. Also, don't you remember? We were yanking the 1-ton dually with the gooseneck and the Corvette on the back out of a mud hole, and a rope came through the back window and knocked the back window. Oh my God! Holy shit! What it did! Oh my God, it broke the fucking back window out of the Bronco. Hey, here's the good news. The rope's still fine. That was violence! Did it break the back window out?
Yeah, the whole tailgate's beat in.
Did it blow out the tire? It blew out the fucking tire. This was aired up. This was a good spare tire.
I'm like, dude, this rope is so f***ing long. And then I hear glass breaking.
So, what we're trying to say is
that
when you're recovering stuff, be careful.
from this beach here, that's Weston's favorite car ever. Actually, I'd say our favorite off-roader ever.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Definitely our favorite off-roader ever. To our least favorite off-roader of all time.
I don't want to say least favorite because it just always works. This right here is a 1953 Willys Army Jeep, and I think this thing was in Korea at some point, I don't know, but I bought this in Colorado and proceeded to drive it to Moab, Utah, drive it up to top of the world. I took it rock crawling a bunch of places I probably shouldn't be taking, and overall, it did pretty well. But off the trail, it is awful to drive. At top speed on this thing is maybe 40 miles an hour. It's really, really hot. It overheated at least 30 times. The Willys Jeep is pretty freaking cool, but it's pretty cool for about 15 minutes. After that, you're over it. What I can say about it is hands down, Jeeps are one of the most well-known vehicles across the world. Everyone knows what a Jeep is because it might be awful. It might be slow, but you know what it is good at? Winning world wars. Probably seen this one here pretty recently. This is our backwards truck, and it originally started off life as a 1998 quad cab Dodge with a 12 valve in it, and then it got impounded, and then someone got it out of impound and blew up the transmission, and then it got where a big fat redneck that decided he wanted to turn it into a backwards truck came and bought it.
And then two big fat rednecks did a car tour around it and then looked at it and thought, wow, there's room for more turbos.
Dude, there is room for more turbos. So long story short, guys, we built this thing in about 2 weeks, and it drives completely backwards. We took the whole body off of it, turned it all around, and set it all back down. Here, look at this. In case you don't believe me, this is backwards. Look. That's how the seats are installed. Long story short, this thing's got a lot of potential of crazy things that we want to do with it in the future, but she's currently a backwards 12 valve. And we're gonna go from one 12 valve to another 12 valve. Guys, you would have to be watching the channel for a long time to recognize this truck, but this is a 1993 first gen Dodge diesel. And honestly, I bought this thing years ago and it originally was white, and then we ended up painting it black, which I feel like I did a pretty good job. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a paint body guy, but we haven't really done much with this truck. We ended up hauling this truck to Utah, and the guys from Power Driven Diesel doubled the horsepower on this truck. It started off with like 160, and now it makes like 320, 330 horsepower. It's one of those trucks that I don't have anything I'm gonna do with it, and it's just sitting around, and I don't have no plans for it. So if anybody wants to come buy a really, really clean first gen Dodge diesel, here you go.
So basically, this video is going from a car collection tour video to car collection / I need to get rid of some stuff video.
And we haven't even got inside yet, but there's nothing really in there, is there? Actually, here's the thing we have to decide. Are we going to give them a sneak peek on the Rolls Royce while they're here? Guys, this is probably gonna spoil a little bit of the next Rolls Royce episode, but this is our Rolls Royce Phantom here, right? Should we just blur underneath the hood, or should we let them see it?
I think most people know what a Cummins looks like, and this is just a mock-up engine.
Yeah,
which kind of tells you that there's bigger plans.
So anyway, guys, long story short, this is a Rolls-Royce Phantom, a 2008 or 9 model, I think. And originally, this car was $530,000 brand new. Now, this car got severely, and I mean severely vandalized, and we ended up finding the reason out for that is because the engine was blown up, and I think they committed a little bit of, you know, insurance fraud or something on it. Guys, we yanked the motor out of this thing.
Spoiler on the next Rolls-Royce video, it's got a Cummins in it. Spoiler.
Well, yeah, we got a Cummins bolted up in it. It's sitting in there mocked up right now, so we're starting to figure out things like how we're gonna make the air conditioning work, and the air ride, and the cooling system, and the intercooler, and everything else. And we're working on that, but also this thing's gonna get some pretty big upgrades once she gets running. But first things first, we're just Cummins swapping it at the moment. The thing is, we're gonna have an episode coming out on the Rolls Royce pretty shortly. We actually got the Cummins sitting all the way down there, and I'm not gonna tell you anything else about it besides for the Rolls Royce is going to be awesome. So we've got that done. Now it's time to show you the big thing that we've built this year. That's right. It's time to show you Buttercup. So guys, we got some big things that we're gonna show you, and they're across the street, but we can't forget about Carrot. This is our 2022 Ram TRX, and not only is it supercharged, not only is it twin turbo, it's both. It's twin turbo supercharged Ram TRX. Makes a lot of power, and I definitely didn't crash it into a tree, and that's why the windshield's broken out. Oh, well, this truck's been through a lot. Hellion twin turbo this thing. It's made 1,000 horsepower. We ended up pairing the motor because we put the wrong gas in it. We put a Demon motor in it once we blew up the first motor, and now it absolutely rips. But we're pulling over here so we can show you the big things of the fleet. Oh, look at them. So guys, here is our 3 semis we have. First things first, I want to show you the Volvo. Now the thing is, with the horsepower rodeo and everything we're doing with that, we're gonna need the ability to move a lot of cars around the country very easily. So I got on Facebook Marketplace one night, scrolled too far, and I bought this bad boy. This is a Volvo VH something. I bought this thing for an incredible deal. I gave like 20 grand for this truck. It runs and drives. All of the hydraulic decks work. We got to do a couple small things to it because we're going to take and load up all the cars that we're going to take the horsepower rodeo. We have another horsepower rodeo we're going to do in Salt Lake City on October 18th. It's going to be really, really awesome. So the Aussies are going to bring their cars. We're going to load up about 8 of our cars, and we're going to go out there and have a good time in Salt Lake City. So that's why we got this bad girl. But you know what? This is the base model, just a plain white semi. Now I'm going to show you the god dang beautiful one. This right here is our Peterbilt 379. And for those of you that's watched the channel for a long time, you might know I bought this truck originally. It was crashed and rolled over, and then I drove it all the way home from Wichita. Since then, that's probably been 4 years ago. The guys from SH2 put a bunch of this awesome stainless on it. The guys from Fitzgerald Collision ended up repainting the whole truck, and it's been stretched to a 300-inch wheelbase by Tim Gentry. So this truck is a awesome truck. Now I'll be honest, this truck's got some issues. We still got to work them all out. It's not running perfectly. It does run and drive all right, but the AC doesn't work, and a bunch of the lights don't work, and just a bunch of the stuff is not finished up on it. But after we do that, this thing is going to be the perfect highway cruiser. And then cutting from the perfect highway cruiser to the perfect vehicle for traffic, and that is Buttercup. This right here is a 1988 Freightliner that we bought from this farm, and then after that we installed a pretty good sized bumper on the front of it.
Dude, I wonder what the farmer that we bought this from actually thinks.
He texted me.
Oh, really?
His kids are fans of ours, and he texted me after the video went live, and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe, my grandpa would never believe that's what you did with his old truck. But this thing made it all the way through the whole stunt we filmed, and after that still runs and drives just fine somehow. And if you're wondering how the cone fared, so guys, this right here is a 4,800 pound steel cone we decided to build on the front of this semi truck. And we got this idea from Mythbusters. They did it years ago, and when they did it, their cone completely caved in by the end of the runway. But this one, we had a couple dents right down here and here, but this section all in here is all so well gusseted and supported and everything else that it needs. It didn't even cave in. I hit 20 cars doing 60 miles an hour, 2 RVs, 2 boats, a bouncy house, a bunch of barrels, and you know what? It's barely even scathed. But don't worry, I definitely put down my visor on my helmet before I took off. That was not my smartest moment. We did all of that. I got my neck brace, everything. I went to put my helmet on, and I got my helmet on, and we were in such a hurry to get it done before it got dark that I forgot to put my visor down, and I did the whole run with my visor up with no eye protection on. Don't do that at home, kids. That's not recommended. And the mirror got ripped off by a boat that was flying by and landed in my lap while I'm driving it through the entire stunt.
Though, like when we shot this thing, there's obviously like, there's so many cameras, but one of the cameras that was running was like a really high speed slow-mo camera. So if you see all these shots where, like, you know, you see glass and boats and cars flying in slow motion, it's because we have this really slow-mo camera on a drone. But the problem is when you have something that's like capturing stuff really slow, it has to have a tremendous amount of light to be able to work. So if it got dark, we was just not going to be able to use the camera. And we had 28 cameras set up
when we shot this whole entire stunt. And you know what? All of them caught what they're supposed to, and we found every single camera, including all the GoPros that were inside the RVs and everything, which was kind of impressive. Is that the end of the car tour?
There's like a bunch of other junk cars, and there's also a bunch of other cars that just like we cannot show anything about.
We have a lot of other cars that we can't show you for one, or aren't here for two. But we appreciate you watching our car tour video. We have amassed quite a collection of junk over the last few years, building cool stuff for YouTube, and we continue to build cool stuff every single day. But the whole point of this is, if there's any of these cars that you've seen in this video that you really want to see back on the channel again, and you really want us to revive that we're not currently working on, make sure you leave a comment down below. And also, we're trying to reach 5 million subs in 2025. If you enjoy our videos, you enjoy what we build, you enjoy what we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're gonna go eat some ice cream.
Oh, wait, eating ice cream, I do want to say, I want to thank everybody that watches, because to be honest, when we first started YouTube, I never thought we would actually get to this point where you would look at this car collection and we would have like all this different type of stuff. You guys watching the videos made it possible. So everything we got here, we wouldn't have it if we didn't make these YouTube videos and you guys didn't watch.
That's not true.
What's that?
We'd still have Clifford.
Well, that's right.
We wouldn't have everything else, but we'd have Clifford. We would have Clifford.
That's right.
It'd still be broken down, but we'd have it.